Hello, and thanks for clicking on the link to watch this video entitled Adding and Modifying Engagement Types in Intuit Practice Management. Engagement types are one of the more important preferences and settings in practice management. They actually come over from lacerte, but you can add your own engagement types as well for other engagements you're doing, bookkeeping, payroll, etc. I'll add a payroll one in a sec so you can see what I mean. But when lacerte, most of you using practice management are lacerte users, you have your statuses, right, in lacerte, and they correlate to these engagement types. So I have lacerte individual. I'm going to click in there, and so the code that I have, info pending, on extension, performed, and under review. Now those are the statuses I'm currently using in lacerte. That's why they're there. If I added more, it would add it to this list for me. Notice I can't add any status codes myself from the ones that come over from default from lacerte. For example, Proforma, I've decided to choose to complete, but maybe that for you is admin or review. Okay, so link it so that when we're on the engagement, it'll show appropriately. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save, and I'll run two engagements quickly. Let me go back and just notice that the engagement types themselves are divided in by the lacerte return type, right, for the lacerte ones. Let me go to engagements quickly here. And you'll see that I have overall statuses: not started, received, in process, review, admin, complete, and I have linked the code from lacerte to that so I know where they are. So when I go into received, for example, I can view all, and there are my engagement names here in the current status, and they will change when they change in lacerte. That's the whole point of that syncing and correlation, and they'll change here. New engagements, you can create your own, you can choose your own current status, but for lacerte engagements, again, I need to point this out. The lacerte status, when you change that, that's what determines the current status for an engagement in practice management. We want lacerte to drive that, okay, for lacerte engagements. Let's go back to the admin tab and engagement types. Now notice I did create a bookkeeping engagement type because I do a lot of QuickBooks work, so I have some more codes here: not started, received, in process, review, admin, complete. I could also add another status code for offsite or something like that, client data review or reviewed or what have you, and link it to the particular stage if I wanted to, and that'll come into play when I create new engagements. I can choose a particular engagement type and update the status myself. I'm going to actually add another engagement type for payroll. This one is done often, payroll reports, forms, whatever. I'm just going to leave it there, and here are the available status codes, and of course I can add more if I want, right? Payroll, and I could even say direct deposited, right? And I go ahead and click Save. And where that will come into play is when I go back to engagements and add an engagement for a particular client, and we'll do payroll. Bi-weekly run here, and I can click the drop down and choose payroll, and then of course it's going to be due by the 28th. I click next, and here's the status. The current status is going to be, we'll just say it's in process, but I'm going to want to come in here eventually, or the staff member I assign it to is going to want to come in here eventually and change it to direct deposited when it's done. And that's how the engagement types and the statuses from the admin engagement types, where you can set your own statuses for both lacerte and non-lacerte engagements, come into play within Intuit Practice Management. So let me just finish this. There's the end date. I'm going to go ahead and click Save and go back, and that's basically what engagement types are about. You have the lacerte determined engagement types that will change in practice management on the engagement when it's changed in lacerte. Lacerte will determine that and drive that. However, you can create other engagement types, and they all kind of have their own statuses, or you can create your own statuses to fit the nomenclature for your firm. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day.